Hey guys, how's it going? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews in editing right now. I would just like to tell you in the beginning of this video that I have officially built a Discord server for the community members to come by, say hi, have a good time. I know there's not too many of us here right now, but over the time as I'm going to keep posting videos, I hope to build up that community. But yeah, if you could just click the link in the description, there is a link to join the Discord server and come by, come say hi. We've got some chat rooms that you can discuss some things, you can talk about music, you can just talk about anything you really want. But anyways, just thought I'd plug that in the beginning of this video. On to the Dominic Fike review. Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button, and if you have any opinions at all you would like to share, put them down in the comment section. Dominic Fike. What could possibly go wrong? Dominic Fike, singer, rapper, songwriter, really blew up in the past 2 years. His big attention-grabbing single, 3 Nights, brought him into the mainstream, giving him some crazy collaborations with artists like Brockhampton and Halsey. Since then, he's been releasing a couple singles here and there, Acai Bowl, Rollerblades, and Phone Numbers, none of which ending up landing on this album. In fact, he only really started the rollout for his debut album, this one I'm reviewing here, in late June. Being a big fan of Dominic's singles, I was looking forward to hearing this album. So just how good was it? Let's find out as I review it, track by track. We'll start off with the singles, with there being 2 of them. The first one being Chicken Tenders, which from what I've heard from other people, definitely didn't tickle too many fancies out there. This is just a lot more of a pop song, and for the 50th time on this channel, I am a pop head most of the time, so this immediately caught my attention. The pitch vocals for the chorus really accentuate the Brockhampton influence clearly on his sleeve, along with the melodies in his voice seeming mostly playful, having a good time, fairly harmless over this instrumental with a lot of synth work. It's right on that verge of almost drowning in synth, but the drum work comes in to balance everything out. Lyrically, there's a lot of clever, quirky lines here, with the main focus being about ordering food up to a hotel room after some nice lovemaking. I really enjoy the song personally, very fun, very catchy. And the second and final single, Politics and Violence, is also a fairly good single. Definitely a lot more rap focused than Chicken Tenders ever could be. This instrumental is very ominous and brooding, with the deeper pitched synths and the heavier, more scant drum work. And Dominic having this effect on his voice that makes it sound a little bit lower, although what I still love about it are the melodies throughout the entire track. They're not as infectious as Chicken Tenders, but they're still pretty decent. If I do have one complaint about the track, it's that it doesn't really join together all that well. There are 2 very distinct sections of the track, one with more sing-songy elements, and the other feels more rap-inspired, and it just kind of feels taped together haphazardly. I don't mind these lyrics, however, about this relationship that crumbled rather quickly, and the recovery that ensues, but I know I'll warm up to this even more over time. It's still good. Now for the rest of the tracks. The opener come here is a rather short 1 minute and 18-second intro, and wow, I'm really not feeling it. It mainly has to do with Dominic's voice. This would be really nice over a heavier rap beat, but with the shrill rock guitar solo, it morphs into this irritating cacophony that basically just becomes a guaranteed ear bleed to sit through. Not really the best way to open up an album. Hard pass. Double Negative parentheses Skeleton Milkshake is yet another rather short track, barely grazing 2 minutes long. And it's definitely not the worst. It just doesn't really feel like a song at all. It almost feels like an interlude with its one verse and repeated hook, and a pretty catchy bridge to boot. I also really like this instrumental, with a lot more of a pop rock style, which is a sound that just gets under my skin in the best way. Dominic's voice is also really good here. A lot of 3 Nights vibes here, but a lot deeper, less tropical, and a killer bass line. Lyrically, it's mainly about this relationship, having something to do with scaring her. I know that's some kind of metaphor. Not a bad song, I would have liked it to be longer. Cancel Me is a song I'm really not feeling as a bunch of other people are. I just really don't like this chorus. It feels overly lifeless for a Dominic Fike song, and I get the topic is a bit dour, it makes sense, but he has pulled this off better. I mean, anyone remember She Wants My Money? The verses are also a lot more rap-themed, and they're pretty damn solid. It's got great flow, great multisyllabic rhymes, but revolving around this chorus, it just kills most of the momentum for me. I get nothing out of it. Although the lyrics are definitely my favorite part of the track, basically about all these stresses that come with fame, and how it's too much, he wishes people would cancel him so he can just go back to living a normal life. Cancel culture in a positive light. That is a really bizarre topic. I like parts of this song, but as a whole, it's not my vibe. Pass. 10 Times Stronger is just a really standard, kind of redundant interlude. Mainly just a bunch of da-da-da-da-das across the track. It's really unnecessary. The instrumental is very sweet though with these strings and piano. It could have worked wonders for something else, but here we are. This one's an easy skip. Good Game opens up with this fantastic rock R&B crossover instrumental with the genuine valiant drum work combined with this sexy, sultry electric guitar riff, keeping it rather slow tempo, and is such an enjoyable and vibey beat overall. The verse does feel a bit long in comparison with everything else, and also kind of blends in with the chorus. It is a bit difficult to reveal the lines between the two at times, but I still enjoy the melody regardless. This one's also fairly short, not even reaching 2.5 minutes, but these lyrics about his relationship with his father and how he doesn't want to grow up to be like him are just the cherry on top. I enjoy it quite a lot. Why lands perfectly on that line between pop rap and pop rock that just clicks with so many things for me. The entire track has an irresistible melody, which is all led by Dominic's lively voice, carrying the track honestly for the most part. However, what absolutely can't be overlooked is this gorgeous instrumental. With the beautiful bass line and the marvelous clicky drum work, it's very appealing to listen to. One complaint I do have with this track, however, is how short it is. Not even going past 2 minutes with really only one verse and 2 choruses. It's a bit underwhelming, but in all honesty, it's one of the best tracks on the album. What's for Dinner is yet another very short tune, clocking in at 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Yet it does have one of the most vibey instrumentals on this entire record. The Brockhampton influence is really strong on here, with the pitched vocal effects and the jazzy, slightly minimalistic instrumental. Even the flow is fairly reminiscent of some Brockhampton. Although in my opinion this outro goes on for way too long, it almost makes the track feel like some kind of glorified interlude, which is really unfortunate. Yet again, I knew I would have liked this song more if it was a full song. Vampire is another one of those tracks that just immediately clicked with me. This track feels the most 3 nights out of any song on this album, with its calming, sunny acoustic guitar and Dominic's melody, especially on the chorus, being irresistibly catchy. The only staggering difference really is that the verses feel a lot darker than on 3 nights, which really works with this bass line and deeper percussion. Along with this track being the full 3 minutes that it deserves to be, and these lyrics about heading to this party, but everyone's a vampire and the red wine isn't actually red wine. Honestly, this is probably my favorite tune on the record. Wonderful song, I recommend it. Superstar Shit keeps with this album's tradition of songs barely scraping past 2 minutes, but this song actually does feel completed, and not just another half-baked idea. The tempo here is perfect. A good bit slower, and the structure of the song is rather compact with a nice chorus, and these verses with this chunky bass line and heavy percussion, yet it just glides with so much groove. Dominic's voice provides a bit of a pleasant contrast. He goes deeper for the chorus, which has these synths that make it feel a bit more positive, and then pitches his voice higher for the aforementioned darker verses. Both styles work really well as he's singing about the superstar lifestyle, the relationships and experiences that follow. Good song, I like it. Joe Blazey is a song I wish I liked so much more. I am not feeling the first leg of this track at all, with that just grating chorus, the nearly chipmunked vocals, and the melody isn't even that engaging. In fact, it almost feels dead. However, after a slight vocal passage about having a panic attack, it transforms fully with this almost distorted bass, and Dominic delivering a much more entrancing melody than before, with some slight reverb to add that punch. But if I can be completely honest, I don't want to sit through that first leg, which takes up more than half the track, to get to my personal favorite part of the song. I'm unfortunately going to pass on this one. Wurli, on the other hand, is another track I completely adore. These synths just feel so elegant and grand, blessing the track with their presence alongside the very snappy percussion. Dominic's voice does get engulfed sometimes by this instrumental, but it's usually only temporary. But his voice feels very wholesome, and I love how he glides across the track like it's nothing. Lyrically, it's yet another relationship song, but this time singing about how it's become toxic. Also, how he's feeling like a glorified doorstop in his own words, and how he just expects something in return. This is another great tune on this album. And finally, the closer, Florida, fittingly is a very somber, emotional closer, led by these scattered synths that range from powerful to really strange and out of place. The track as a whole is pretty minimalistic. There's no real stable melody here, and it feels very quiet and experimental. Dominic puts this bizarre effect on his voice for the first part, but then his regular voice comes back, going from a fairly laid-back ambient tune to this braggadocious, slightly in-your-face bop. It's a bit of an abnormal closer, but to be fair, I still enjoy it anyway. Overall, this Dominic Fike album, kinda hit or miss. Although there definitely were more hits here, engaging melodies, intriguing lyrics, and definitely some influences I like, but a lot of the experimentation here was pretty lackluster, but I still give most of the tunes here a solid recommendation, and that's why I'm feeling a 6.5 out of 10 on this album. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.